somewhere along the way, I gave up on my dreams. That was an active decision I made. It wasn't like I outgrew my dream at all. I specifically remember the day where I was looking at my YouTube channel and the platform that I had built and realizing that nothing was really working out for me anymore. I had been stuck at 14,000 something followers for 5 years. Yes, I was counting. I had horrible engagement rates. I was still getting campaigns for my smaller platforms like TikTok and also for YouTube as well. But my videos were rarely performing well. And I shit you not, almost everyone in my generation of YouTubers who I was personally friends with skyrocketed to recognition, to stardom. They all became famous while I stayed stuck. And at that point, it felt like I was left behind, like I had expired on YouTube before I even peaked on it. It felt like it was everyone but me, and that it would never ever be me. I was going through it, and everyone I talked to about how I was feeling with all of this always told me that maybe it just wasn't the time, that there was something there that had potential, but the universe or God probably had something planned out for me, and I just needed to work a little harder or learn something or achieve something more before I get to that point in my dream where I could say I finally made it. And hearing that at the time frustrated me so much. It actually like angered me quite a bit. Because number one, it didn't validate the victim mentality I was in at the time, right? I was thinking, oh, woe is me. Like, I'm being bullied by the universe. Like, it's taunting me. Everybody is getting recognition and fame except for me. Woe is me. Oh. And number two, I just generally disagreed. I was thinking, what could my friends have had figured out or learned to do that made them skyrocket to fame that I haven't figured out myself at this point? And this is going to be really embarrassing for me to say, but I couldn't see any improvement for myself because I genuinely thought so highly of my content that I was like, ain't no way I could get better than this. Like, my content is so good. And as horrible as this is to say, I would frequently compare myself to other people and put myself on that pedestal and be like, well, my content is highly produced. It looks better. It's written better. It flows better. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't need to learn anything more. I don't need to figure anything out. People just need to find me and hand me the fame that I am so desperately wanting. And finally, number three, I don't know how to explain this logically, but this is something I still feel to this day. My intuition tells me that I'm meant for something bigger in life. And at the time, I felt that as well, that I was meant for something bigger than this small YouTube channel. Like, this YouTube channel wasn't meant to stay small and hidden. It's like I was meant to be known. I was meant to be seen. I was meant to be heard. And I still feel that to this day. I do feel like I'm still meant for bigger things, and I don't know what that might be, but that is something that's always been a gut feeling of mine about me and my life and where my life needs to go, I guess, if that makes any sense. So going through all of that, right, my ego was clearly being crushed, and it hurt a lot. And if you are an OG subscriber of mine and you've been here since the dawn of time with my YouTube channel, then you've seen my self-improvement series. And that was exactly what I was going through during the self-improvement series. I had so much resentment and anger and desperation underneath the surface that I bottled up and let fester until one day I just was like, you know what? The universe clearly doesn't want me to be happy. The universe clearly doesn't want to support me in my dreams. So I'm just gonna give up. I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna let it go. I don't care anymore. Fuck you. Ugh. It sounds so harsh to say right now, but yeah, I had reached that boiling point. So I buried myself in my work, and I somehow ended up becoming a content creator, not for myself, but for my clients. And I had fun. I loved it. For the first time in a really, really long time, I was finally creating without a lot of hate inside of me or resentment. I wasn't in that jail cell of desperation that I used to be because my content was no longer for me. There was no longer that dream to chase. I was just creating for other people. And it's funny to say that I did become a full-time content creator, like a full-time freelance content creator. That's technically still my job now, but it did free me from a lot of that resentment that I had at the time. I was having fun again, but about 3 years after I became a full-time content creator, I found myself missing filming and editing videos for myself and creating content for myself. I had just gotten married, I was in my honeymoon, and I was watching all these new creators online vlogging their day or doing topic-based discussions, and I just missed it. I missed doing that. And my husband encouraged me to try again. So last year, I started posting videos again, and I loved it. I felt so free. Like I felt like I had come back to me again. But I wasn't consistent. And in hindsight, I do think it was because I was scared of burning out all over again. I couldn't commit. I just couldn't commit at the time. However, I did feel like something was different. I felt far lighter and I was back to square one. I was creating from the most innocent place again. I was doing it for the love and the joy that I found in making these content pieces and these videos, and no longer for the numbers and for the desperation to be recognized. So even if I wasn't consistent last year, it did light a spark in me. You would think that after that spark was lit, I just went all in. I went ham. I started creating these strategies and filming everything, front loading, editing, posting consistently. And then suddenly my videos got pushed by the algorithm everywhere. And then I'm sitting here in front of you in this video to tell you all that I have achieved my dream. God, do I wish that was the case, but no, unfortunately it is not. I actually did the opposite. I knew that spark had been lit, but I kept it buried deep down. I chose to ignore it. And if I were to self-therapize right now, I can confidently say that it's because I was still tired. I was still burnt out. I was so scared still. And I still thought, as if it was fact, that it didn't matter how much I loved creating and how much I put out there, how much effort I put back into it, nothing would ever come of it. I mean, it failed the first time. What would make this any different? So I just buried it deep down inside and I continued to coast. Until about a week ago when I was forced to face a very harsh truth, which was that I am, present day, extremely unhappy. Something's missing and I can't run away from it anymore. And this is where my skill of being really good at introspection comes in, right? For the past 4 years of being a full-time freelance content creator, I had come to realize that as much as I enjoyed my job, don't get me wrong, I love it. I'm blessed to have found a client and a brand that resonates so deeply with me that I want to fully transition into focusing on that brand alone compared to when I used to hustle with like 5 other jobs, right? I also hit a personal crossroad with myself. I got to the end of that love-hate relationship with my dream, and I was forced to ask myself why I was still so unfulfilled. I was thinking, all of this, for what? For who? For me? No, not for me. This was not for me. So I called my sister because I was having a very emotional time about this realization, right? And I told her that I have this urge to blow up my entire career. I just wanted to, I don't know, just quit it all and disappear and not do anything, have no more responsibilities and expectations. I just wanted to hide and exist with nothing, just nothing. I just wanted to be. I just wanted to be because I was tired of feeling like I needed something more because I'm not happy. I'm unfulfilled. But the something more that I knew I needed, which was my dream, isn't gonna work out for me. I genuinely believed like this is not happening. It doesn't matter how hard I try. It's not happening for me, not in this lifetime, maybe not even in the next lifetime. So the something more that would fill my cup, make my heart happy, and make me say that I finally feel good about myself, I finally feel fulfilled and accomplished, is there's no point to it. There's no point to chasing after it. And I know it sounds dramatic. Maybe it, to some extent it was, but to me, that was my truest emotion at the time. I just wanted to like blow it all up. But my sister said something on that phone call that really shifted my mindset and my perspective on all of this. And she said, what if all this heavy pressure that you feel right now is being placed on you by the universe because you're not where you're meant to be? And that was scary to hear. Once again, I'm being forced to face where my intuition, my gut is telling me I am meant to be. And that is in creating for myself. So yeah, when I said earlier that my intuition to this day tells me I'm meant for something bigger, that was it. And I still believe it. I've been running away from it, but I still believe it. And all these years of me running away from that dream because it didn't work out the first time has finally come back around. Not because I intended for it to, or because I planned to come back to creating for myself, but simply because it just was time. It's just time for me to face it again. I don't know what it was in those years in between that has finally led me to this point where I can say that I can try again, but I know for a fact that those years were filled with a hell of a lot of growth. I made peace with myself. I'm learning to love myself again, which is another video I'm gonna get into. And I'm far less egotistical than I used to be. I've stopped comparing myself to others. And I root for others now from a place of pure support as opposed to from a place of performance. And lastly, I learned to have humility in a way I never really had it before. My TikTok is doing well. I swear to God, this all ties in, okay? It's not just a hard left into another topic. My TikTok is doing well. I started posting these savings challenges that have been gaining quite a good amount of traction, and I have a steady rise in followers. I'm not skyrocketing. I haven't gone viral, but I am slowly gaining a following on TikTok, right? And as all this is happening, I have gotten a good number of comments from you guys who had watched me from years on back saying that you had been wondering where I was and that you had been looking for me, actually looking for me, trying to find my channel again and remember who that one YouTuber from like 2013 was that you really like because you can't remember her name anymore and you're trying to figure out where they are now. And that was me. You guys got excited that I popped up on your FYP on TikTok because you finally found me again. Let me adjust the lighting, friends. And that was when I realized that there was something right in front of my face that I had never seen until now. I have a small but very strong community that comes back every time I post a video on YouTube. It doesn't matter if it's been weeks, months, freaking years since I've posted. It's always the same girls, the same names that come back time and again. And it also doesn't matter if I was a beauty guru and then I shifted into being a lifestyle vlogger, or now I'm doing freaking finance savings challenge videos on TikTok. These same girls come back again and again and again. They're still there, supporting me all the way. I see you guys. I recognize you guys. You guys mean the world to me. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. Okay, pull it back in. So during this call, as I was telling my sister how lost I felt, and she was helping me realize all these things, she told me that I, in fact, was not lost at all. In fact, I have my anchor. I have my North Star. I've known for the longest time that being a content creator, that making YouTubers before the term influencer was even a thing, before the term content creator was even clocked, right? This had always been my dream. Any OGs who are watching this know that this has always been my dream. This is my North Star. This is my anchor. And I've just spent the last how many years running away from it, ignoring it, because I was resolved to thinking that it just was never going to work out for me. It was going to be everyone else but me, and that there was no longer any point in trying. And so when I realized that I have been blessed enough to, in those times where I was doing things and working so hard for my channel, that I was able to build a small but very strong community, had actually built a foundation of something that stayed strong and true throughout all these years. So my sister says, what are the odds that now, at a time where you have this strong urge to just tear everything down, life gives you one unexpected avenue to still create? That life has given you proof of concept that you can still come back and still be supported, that you can still try again. The question is, are you finally brave enough to go after your dreams again? Somewhere along the way, I gave up on my dreams. But even in my absence, something stayed alive. My joy for creating, and a community that never stopped looking for me. So, am I brave enough to go after my dreams again? Hi, my name is Max, and yes, I am. And I hope you join me for the ride. Oh my god! I can't believe I got through that without sobbing. Welcome back, Max.